Today we are chatting with Ria Mohammed-Davidson, an attorney at law who did her undergrad at UWI, continued at the Hugh Law School, and completed her master's in law at Harvard Law School. She has her own practice and is also on the Human Rights Committee of the Law Association of Trinidad and Tobago. This committee wants to partner with or be an ally to the local disability community to see how we can get laws passed or amended to further the rights of persons with disabilities. Ria, what current laws exist to support the needs of children and persons with disabilities in Trinidad and Tobago?
I would say that we really don't have holistic disability legislation. In fact, it's one of the things that we probably need if we want to provide for all of the needs of people with disabilities, not just educational or medical, but things like employment and so on. We do have some pieces of legislation that touch on disability issues. So we have the Education Act. It talks about establishing a public education system that has special schools, and those special schools are supposed to provide for the education of people, and I don't want to be offensive, but this is actually what the Act says, for people who are deaf or mute or retarded or handicapped. We also have the Education Act saying that persons can't be discriminated against from entering a public school, but it doesn't mention disability as a ground of discrimination. Which takes us to another piece of legislation called the Equal Opportunity Act. So the Equal Opportunity Act does have disability as a protected characteristic. So it states that you can't be discriminated against on the basis of your disability. And the Equal Opportunity Act applies to not just education, but also employment and the provision of goods and services. I think the difficulty, especially from my dialogue with the disability community, the difficulty with that particular piece of legislation is that it also provides for a defense called unjustifiable hardship, which is a way for somebody to excuse what would otherwise be discriminatory behavior. So the answer to your question is kind of yes and no. We don't have a holistic disability law, but we do have individual pieces of legislation that seemingly touch on disability issues.
Regarding persons with disabilities, laws specific to persons with disabilities are very important in society because they guide how society should treat persons with disabilities, and the protections and accommodations persons with disabilities should be awarded under lawful conditions. It's very important because persons with disabilities have traditionally in many jurisdictions been underserved and been subject to subjective interpretation of existing laws that do not specifically cater for their needs in terms of societies providing the support, accommodations and protections for persons with disability in many, many categories. So laws specific to persons with disabilities are very important for persons with disabilities in any particular jurisdiction or country.
Hello everyone. We need your help. We need you to like and share this content in order to drum up public support for this initiative. We also need you to continue tuning into our channel so that you can learn more about why this initiative is so important to our community and to our country. Thank you for your support. See you soon.